Hello, welcome all back to another video about what's going to probably be my favorite TV show, The Last of Us HBO Max show that's coming out in 35 days. We're only 35 days away, and I'm super excited. I have an article today from Screenrant we're going to go over, and please forgive my voice. Myself and my whole family right now are fighting COVID. So we're going to try to get this video out to you and go over this article. And there's going to be more and more of this as we get closer and closer to the release of the premiere. And make sure you hit subscribe so you can come back here and get all this information as I get it, because I'm scouring the internet so you don't have to, and you can still get your information. So let's go ahead and jump into this article. All right, so this article was written by Tiffany Beverley, and it's from Screenrant. Every original character in HBO's The Last of Us who isn't in the games. Content warning. The following article contains discussion of suicide and suicide ideation. HBO's live-action adaptation of The Last of Us brings back many familiar faces from the games, but also introduces entirely new characters. Created by Chernobyl writer-director Craig Mazin, I'm not sure how you say his name, and Neil Druckmann, who co-wrote and co-directed The Last of Us video games. The TV series takes place in a post-apocalyptic United States 20 years after a fungal virus has ravaged the population. It focuses on Joel, played by Pedro Pascal, a hardened yet traumatized survivor tasked by the Fireflies, a resistance movement with smuggling Ellie, Bella Ramsey, a teenage girl immune to the virus and possibly a key to the cure, out of a quarantine zone. So the first actor that we're going to look at is Jeffrey Pierce. In Part 1 and Part 2 of the game, Jeffrey Pierce did the voice of Tommy, Joel's younger brother. In the series, it's going to be played by Gabriel Luna, who you may know from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I never watched that show, but that's what's listed here in the article. But Jeffrey Pierce is going to be playing a new character named Perry, who lives in the quarantine zone. Pierce said in an interview with Games Radar that Perry will unveil things that attach to the game and help the video games make even more sense. It doesn't say if Perry is good or bad, but it seems that his character will have major implications for the series. So this next part is really interesting. If you probably recognize this actress on the screen now. Her name is Melanie Lynskey. She has been in so many things. Most recently, she was in the Showtime show Yellow Jackets. She played adult Shauna, and she's fantastic in that. And it says that in The Last of Us, she will be playing. Well, you may have seen her. She was in the teaser trailer and she was in the full trailer. She plays Kathleen, a ruthless leader of a revolutionary movement in Kansas City. Kansas City was never a location mentioned or shown in The Last of Us games, so this is an excellent way for The Last of Us television show to expand Joel and Ellie's world further. Lynskey is also confirmed to appear in more than one episode, so it will be exciting to see what the show does with her character. I mean, this something completely new added to it just to give it more substance, a new location. So this was probably, from what I understand, probably something that was supposed to happen in the game, but the game just got, I guess, too long for, or too big for what they could do in the original game. But Druckmann has said that there would be things in the game, in the show, that wasn't in the game today. It had always intended to be in the game. So this could be really exciting for those of us who know the story but want the show to be something. We want to be surprised by the show too. The next character we can talk about is Mr. Adler. He will be played by Brad Leland. You probably know him as Buddy Garrity from the sports drama Friday Night Lights. Never watched that show either. I'm not big on like sports type shows, but anyway. It says not much is known about this role, though based on the character's name, Mr. Adler may be a teacher. Perhaps he could have been one of Ellie's teachers at the military boarding school she attends in Boston quarantine zone alongside Riley, played by Storm Reed, one of her closest friends in The Last of Us games. HBO's The Last of Us show looks like it'll delve into Ellie's backstory, showing one of Ellie's teachers would be a cool glimpse into her military school days. So we'll just have to wait and see when the show comes out who Mr. Adler is, but it makes perfect sense that it would be a teacher. The next character we can talk about is Marlin, played by Graham Greene, and we've already seen him in the full preview. This is Graham Greene, known for such roles as Harry Clearwater in the Twilight Saga New Moon and the Western crime drama Longmire. Never saw that, but I did see the Twilight New Moon. Plays Marlin. The character of Marlin is described as living an isolated life in the wilderness of post-apocalyptic Wyoming with his wife Florence. It is a notable location in the games. It is close to Jackson, where Tommy and his wife Maria live. It's part of a self-sustaining community. Since Marlin and Florence are specified to live alone in the wild rather than in town, they may encounter them on their way to Jackson to find Tommy.
You're not going to scare us.
Scared him?
And this would be the just mentioned Florence, played by Elaine Miles. It says Elaine Miles is known as the character Marilyn on Northern Exposure, plays Marlin's wife Florence. According to IMDb, Miles and Greene are only credited for one episode, so they may not be a major part of the show. However, it's still remarkable that the two older Native American actors were cast. It adds a more diversity to the cast, which is great. I know there's some stink around that, and I'm making another video about that, but to me that is completely ridiculous. Anyway, it adds two unique characters. Hopefully their episode of The Last of Us in season 1 goes into the couple's backstory and how they came to be alone in the wilderness.
Be careful who you put.
Okay, so for this next character that we're going to talk about, there are spoilers for the game and potentially for the show. So if you don't want to know, stop watching now. And this is the last character we're going to talk about, so you're not going to miss anything other than me saying thank you for all the views and stuff like that. But so here's your chance. If you don't want to know this, go ahead and click away. So this character is Frank, who is going to be played by Murray Bartlett. You may know him from other shows on HBO. He's on The White Lotus. But in the game, Frank is dead when we come across Frank. He was Bill's romantic partner, who would be played by Nick Offerman. They've lived together for 20 years, and he pretty much just gets tired of living with Bill. And he leaves, and he gets bitten by a horde of, it doesn't tell us what stage infection they are, but I would guess they were runners because he's not torn apart. And instead of turning, he hangs himself. And then in the Billstown part of the game, Joel and Bill find him. And Joel finds a letter written by him explaining why he left and that kind of thing. So anyway, he's going to be played by Murray Bartlett. I just showed you the clip where you see him in the trailer. I assume that's when they meet. And the article goes on to say he's not an original character. It's pretty much what I told you. He's dead. In The Last of Us Season 1 seems to give Frank more of a significant role. In an interview via Collider, Bartlett mentioned that he received multiple scripts, so it doesn't look like he'll be a one-off character, only seen in flashbacks. This is a great opportunity for The Last of Us show to fix the mistake from the game and flesh out Bill and Frank's relationship. The fact that The Last of Us TV show is elevating the character of Frank is a good sign. Frank's increased role, as well as inclusion of a non-game character, fleshes out the world of The Last of Us and makes the show even more interesting. And I think, if you remember from the teaser trailer, we see a sign of two people holding hands. I think that's a flashback, maybe a flashback to Frank and Bill when they meet each other. But we won't know. It's all just a theory. We won't know till the show comes out. And like I said, we're only 35 days away, and I'm super excited about it. So that's pretty much it for our video, but I do want to say thank you. I'm a very small channel, and I've been at this for over 2 years, and I've never received the engagement that I have until I started these videos about the show. It's amazing to connect with. I assume that you are fellow lovers of this universe, and it means the world to me that you are watching my videos and spending your time with me. I look forward to making more videos that you enjoy, and hopefully you enjoy as we get closer to the show. I plan on reacting to the show, posting my thoughts about the individual episodes, and doing some live streams that kind of mirror where the show is every week, but I don't plan on going forward to another part of the game until we've already seen that in the show, for people who maybe not have played the game, because I don't want anything to be spoilery, and because this world is way too amazing to have someone ruin it for you. So anyway, if you haven't already, please subscribe so you don't miss anything new, any new content. Like the video, share it with a friend who may love this world, and I will see you in the next one. And one more time, thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.